You're tuned in to Shake, Rattle, and Goal, the official podcast of your Springfield Thunderbirds.
Osmanski, a one-timer deflected side of the goal. Alexandrov scores! Hosted by Matt Baker and Steve Forney. A show that's everything Springfield hockey, with interviews including players, coaches, and staff.
The Springfield Indians repeat as the Calder Cup champions.
Listen to this podcast on all major streaming platforms and wherever you download podcasts.
In his first year at the helm, Kevin McDonald and Drew Bannister have the Teamers in the Calder Cup Finals.
Watch the podcast on the official Shake, Rattle, and Goal YouTube page at SRG Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Matt Baker and Steve Forney.
And we are pleased to right now be joined by really the two men of the weekend. Let's be honest with it. Sam Bitten, Will Bitten joining us right now on the Shake, Rattle, and Goal podcast alongside Matt Baker. I'm Steve Forney. Fellas, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, boys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that particular night was pretty awesome. And I got to be honest, Sam, there's this, like, I'm just from a fan perspective, and obviously I work for the team, but like, it's like the less that you played at home, the more there was like this cult following of the unknown. And every time that we would pose questions to fans, it's like, well, when's Sam Bitten playing? Well, I want to see Sam Bitten. When's Sam Bitten playing? When's Sam Bitten playing? And then I feel like when I announced your name in the starting lineup, that was the loudest cheer I feel like I've heard in a long time. Walk me through that moment and sort of you getting the chance to play on the home ice in front of the Thunderbirds fans.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I felt it too. I had a lot of fans always writing me and always like, when are you going to play? When are you going to play at home? We want to see you. Because I only had that one exhibition game against Providence. And, you know, that was a tough loss. But I think I had a good showing with my first scrap in front of the fans. So I think they were, you know, really anticipated my home debut. So, yeah, it was incredible. And we didn't know for the game when Coach Bannister said that we were going to start the game, you know, I said, well, like, here we go. You know, like we looked at each other and we knew first shift had to be a good one. That's for sure. And when, you know, I heard you call my name, Steve, I was like, when I heard the roar from the fans, I was like, oh my God, like I feel at home here. And the welcome was unbelievable. I was super emotional to go out there and pumped at the same time. And, you know, I was just happy that I could give a good showing for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did that. Will, what was that like for you? Older brother, I'm an older brother myself, and sitting in the locker room and hearing Coach Bannister read the starting lineup and you guys were in it. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was incredible, honestly. These past couple months have been pretty crazy. We've actually never played with each other on the same team growing up, other than beer league in the summer, which our chemistry is off the charts. But taking us back to main camp in St. Louis, you know, we got that NHL exhibition game playing on the same line together. That was pretty special as well. And to be able to play Bitsy's Army game together on the same ice, but on the same line as well was pretty special. And, you know, Sam, first home game, we knew it was going to be crazy, and everyone was excited for it. But like he said, that first shift, you know, we had goosebumps and all the boys were fired up. And I'll tell you that there was no puck on the ice on that first shift. So,
well, I noticed because again, Sam, it was like immediately you went out and you smashed Russo.
Yeah.
And I felt, and quite honestly, Ryan Smith said the same thing to me at post game. Like that rattled him. Like he was. I mean, he's supposed to kind of be their leader, and I don't want to throw the guy under the bus, but the minute you smashed him, they kind of, it was like the air got sucked out of the Utica team. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes it's not about the size of the hit or anything. It's about the time and the timing and momentum. And I thought that was it was like, whatever, 20 seconds in, I felt like the momentum shifted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it's no secret. I knew who I was going after there, and I knew he was one of their top guys. And that's my game. I like to, get in people's faces and, make my name that way. So I knew who I was going after. And like my brother, I had a good scouting report talking to Will and I said, the first shift, it's important for me to get engaged early. Haven't played in a long time, right? Like this was only my 4th game this season and first game in under a month. So I was like, I need to, I want to get engaged early. And I knew with a big hit like that would have started off well. And I agree. I think after that, their team has kind of sucked the air out of them for sure.
No doubt. We're talking with Will and Sam Bitten. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah. So for Bitsy's Army, the post-game auction, I think it was over $30,000 in the jersey auctions. What's it like playing in front of Springfield Thunderbirds fans in the Thunderdome, knowing you've got the Bitsy's Army patch on your shoulder? It feels like it's a game bigger than a game. Do you guys feel that as players? Is there, I don't know. It was just so special for you. It was so special for us as fans. Take us through the game.
Yeah. Obviously that's probably one of the biggest games of the year for me personally. And, that's an emotional game for my family and I, and, we had 30 to 40 family, friends in a crowd, and, just seeing those jerseys. But first of all, I want to thank all the staff and Nate Costa as well for helping us out with everything. And, it means a lot to us. And just to see the Bitsy's Army logo on the jersey, like that's pretty special. Not a lot of people can say that, they have a game after them, and it's pretty special. And, all the boys coming out and supporting us and playing the way we did, 7-0 at home, the Thunderdome, that's a statement game right there, and everyone made sure they were ready. We had a great crowd, 3 games that week. We didn't know what to expect, and 3 home games, and, they showed up every home game. And I feel like our crowd taking us back to, ever since we went to the finals and the playoffs, I think our crowds have been great, and they're supporting us like crazy. We have another really good team this year, and I'm really excited, looking forward to what we can do. I think, with having 2 organizations in one with Carolina, we're still trying to figure out line combinations, and, we got a lot of bodies and everyone's good. So it's really interesting, but, that Bitsy's Army game, pretty special for my brother and I, and, getting to score a goal there was pretty cool. Trying to get Sam one too, but it hit off my leg and I went on. So,
well, I mean, I guess like sort of one last sort of emotional question for you guys, but like, like when I got called up to the Bruins and my dad was fighting cancer in Boston, and it's Hockey Fights Cancer Night, and I'm trying to announce the Bruins game with all this emotional stuff. And meanwhile, my dad's like 3 blocks away fighting for his life. And it was like I felt, and even after he passed, for these Hockey Fights Cancer Nights, it's like I feel him in the building. And I don't necessarily consider myself a religious guy, but I feel this like presence. Like I just feel like he's there with me. And I don't know. I'm wondering if you guys felt, 2 goals, 2 assists, Will. Did you sort of feel a presence of, I don't know, whether it's your cousin or just love and appreciation, or did you just feel this sort of sense of like you weren't alone, like there was somebody there with you?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I think, that one goal I scored could have been one of the nicest goals I've scored in my career. And,
that was nasty.
And thank you. Yeah. But immediately after I scored, just pointing at him. But a good example of it was, that shot by Coughlin at the point bounced over my stick and it hit my leg and went in. I was just laughing, kind of. Last couple of games I've had a lot of chances, probably way better chances than that. And they weren't going in, and for it to just hit my leg like that, and go in, I was just like, wow, someone, Martin is definitely watching over us right now. And
sure,
having his dad in the crowd was pretty special as well. So what a game to do it, and, get that win was huge, obviously.
I'll take that assist too any day of the week,
Yeah, well, Sammy getting his first point too.
Yeah,
there was a lot of different plays and situations that you know, we're really excited of, and milestones obviously too.
For
So
sure. For sure.
Guys, talking more hockey now. Take me into strategy, mindset, philosophy of a power play. I think we got out of the power play slump this weekend for power play goals. Are you looking, when you're passing the puck around, you're moving the puck around, you're sending it low, bringing it to the point, are you looking for the shot, or are you looking for a shot, put it on goal, hope for a redirection, hope for a rebound? Is there a philosophy there?
Listen, Matt, I would love to speak on that, but that was the first power play I've played in a long time. So, are you asking Will this question or me? Like, let's be honest. But
go ahead, Will.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's been a little tough just because we have so many guys that played the power play before, and I feel like we've got a lot of guys in different areas now, and we're still trying to figure each other out. But yeah, like you said, Matt, I think just, you know, try to find that shot. We had to keep it simple, and I felt like that last game we were just trying to shoot a lot more, which, you know, the puck went in too. I'm not like the other games, I would say we had a lot of great chances as well, but it just wasn't going in, right? So I think just the key of it was, you know, I felt like our breakouts were a lot better. We're getting in the zone quicker, and, you know, you always want to gain the top. You want to pass it to the D on top, and then you can move it around. But obviously, yeah, getting traffic in front, and a lot of goals in the AHL are greasy. So that's all my goals, all net front greasy. So I'll take them for sure.
Well, you know, Sam, I found it interesting that like you were, you know, labeled as like the fighter, and Gaudette's labeled as the, you know, the goal scorer, and yet in that game you had the assist, Gaudette had the fight.
Yeah,
I found it a little ironic, you know, and I saw a couple guys try to go with you, and you didn't.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a little ironic knowing that Gaudette's out there getting. By the way, which was right in front of me. Anytime you guys want to fight right in front of me, in between the penalty boxes, I love the view. But
love that. Good to know.
But it was a little ironic to see you get on the score sheet and him to serve a fighting major.
Yeah, isn't that great? That doesn't happen too often. So those nights in the locker room, I was like, wow, I forgot how that felt like. But to be honest with you, like, you know, it felt great to be out there in those in that situation. You know, growing up, I was always a scorer. I was always a good playmaker. So it wasn't uncomfortable to me being in those situations. As you saw, I took the face-offs took the face-off in the D zone, won it back, and we got a good entry out of it. So the boys were actually trying to set me up for the one-timer there. I wanted to shoot it, but I ended up being the playmaker to Will. Pretty cool, though, feeling to get my first point on my brother's goal there. So, yeah, definitely a night to remember. But trust me, there'll be a lot of nights that I'll be the one tussing it up for sure. Yeah.
Will, Sam, what was it like growing up between you two? Was it always hockey? I know you guys didn't play on the same teams, but, you know, were you competitive? Did you feed off each other? Did you help each other develop your game?
Yeah, definitely. I think we come from a really competitive and sportive background, and my parents being two-time Olympians in badminton. My mom went to 1992 and 96. I think that's Barcelona, Atlanta. And, you know, we played a lot of sports growing up. Obviously badminton, soccer, hockey. And I think, you know, it's really helped us with our hand-eye, our quickness on the ice. And, you know, playing a lot of different sports, I feel like helps. And we're a super competitive family, and, you know, we had so many mini sticks battles in the basement. I can tell you that. So yeah, it was great. You know, we're always trying to help each other out. You know, whatever it is. You know, like right now, my brother and I, after practice, maybe we'll drop the mitts and try little things out. No, it's been great. You know, having my brother here. He's worked so hard his whole life, and getting that opportunity this year with T-Birds and showing what he can do. And you know, the fans see it. A lot of people see it in the dressing room, and you know, it's just going to get better and better.
I can't imagine going to a barbecue in the summer and at the Bitten house, and they're like, "Hey, let's go play some badminton." Again, Americans just badminton. I like your way better, badminton.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turns into, you know, real legit stuff. This isn't your backyard volleyball game. This is like legit stuff.
Yeah. It's always annoying on TV when they show it playing outside. My parents and I, we always get angry because we're like, it's an indoor sport. It shouldn't be played outside. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you see people just touching it like this, and they make it look so easy. But every time one of my teammates, and it happens every year, they go, "Oh, it's not a hard sport." I always the first one, like, let's go. I'll take you. I'll show you what it's like, you know, because it's the hardest sport for me. Like, played hockey my whole life. I'm fortunate, you know, my dad's a badminton professional back home. He teaches a lot of kids, so I'm able to, you know, go play badminton with some of the best players in our hometown, and you know, they put me through a workout, and I love it. So it's I'm always the one challenging guys. If you think it's easy, come on the courts. Let's find out.
Do you need high ceilings for that? I feel like that's not like a basement sport. Like you need to.
Yeah. High ceilings.
Really high. Really high.
Yeah.
I need a badminton lesson.
Maybe you got to come down, Steve, in Ottawa, and we'll give you a lesson.
I got to knock that shuttlecock around. That's what I need to do.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I kind of have one question for each of you. Actually, last year Will, you had your little stint in St. Louis, 4 games. You got an assist. I'd like to know what that was like. And then to you, Sam, playing overseas, a few games in Sweden and Czech, if I'm not mistaken, and sort of what that was like playing overseas. Give us a little insight as to those experiences.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Obviously getting my first taste in the NHL, my first couple of games there was really special. I remember like yesterday, it was December 3rd, and Kevin gave me that call saying, "You're going up. You're going to Pittsburgh tonight." And I was like, "Oh my God, like this is crazy," you know. And it's actually a wild story. It took me 2 flights to get to Pittsburgh from Hartford Bradley International Airport, and I did Hartford to Washington to Pittsburgh. I got at the airport, I believe it was like 5:30, and the rink's pretty far from the airport, which no one told me. And you know, it's a big game, and there's a lot of traffic. And Warmies was at like 6:30 or so,
6:25,
or 6:20 or whatever. And I remember being on the highway, and we're not moving. And I had to tell the limo guy, I was like, "Hey, this is my first NHL game tonight. I'm playing. You got to get me there, you know?" And I remember him calling the cops, and we had a police escort us close to the rink. And I got in like 10 minutes before warm-ups. My first NHL game. It almost worked out better because I wasn't as nervous. Like, it's not like I was there all day. I was just thinking, I need to get there, you know? But anyways, that was crazy. And
there's something else to worry about, though. It's like you don't have to worry about your game. You got to worry about getting to the game.
Exactly. But, you know, taking that solo lap by myself, and, you know, just thinking of all that hard work that I've done my whole life and finally paying off, and, you know, seeing Crosby, Malkin, Letang just staring at me when I'm by myself, I was just like, wow, I'm in the show, you know. But awesome. Yeah, that was a great experience for me. I was there about a month last year in December, and I learned a lot. It was good. Got that cool assist there, really cool moment for me and my family. Couple big games up there, but it was great. You know, I'm still hungry to get back up there, and one day at a time for sure for me.
Yeah. I don't want to take too much of your time, guys. My story in Europe's pretty crazy.
We got all night.
Pretty crazy.
My kids are asleep. I don't know about that. My kids are.
I don't know how full your fridge is, Steve. You know, you might have. I could talk all night, buddy. No, but yeah. So long story short here. So how I went to Europe was basically I played in the OHL for 4 seasons, and then that COVID year happened, and I did not get my last year, my overage year in the OHL. And so I was 19 years old. I wanted to, it was, that season ended, and then my OA year was not playing. So I made the decision to go to Europe, play, I wanted to challenge myself and, mature as a player and play against men. So I went to Sweden, played a little bit there, and then the big decision was to go back and play in Czech. And so I started in Czech 2 league, and the goal was always a 2-year plan to move up to the Extra Liga, which is the main Czech league, and that's a really, really strong league. So, and they don't take a lot of imports in Czech Republic. We're only allowed 5 imports in that league. And, usually it's, guys with pretty big resumes that have played in the NHL or have a lot of games in the American League. So I knew it was going to be a challenge. But when I started in the second league, I knew I had to get some numbers and to get up there. And I was a scorer. I put up some good, nice goals and some good points. And I got called up that year in December, actually. So I made my mark there, and to a big team called Vitkovice. That's a big club over there in Europe, and a well-known club. And went there, and then I signed a contract the following year to another team called HC Pilsen, and that was a ride right there. That was a lot of fun. Once I went there, my game changed from going to the second league to be an offensive player to being a tougher player, because my mentality was to always come back to North America and showcase myself to the North American scouts, and ultimately sign a contract in the NHL. So I don't think, the one thing I will say, I don't think they were used to seeing a young 22-year-old kid like me coming in and, challenging everybody every night. I think it was a little new to them, and it wasn't in their culture, but I will say, I'll tell you one thing, the fans really appreciated my style of play. They loved the fights and the hits, and they were great to me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes. So folks in Springfield, they love it. And,
same here. That's the same. Yeah. The biggest comparison, like they're similar, very similar like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And real quick for both of you, you're both natural born French speakers.
That's right.
Right. And you learned English. First of all, that process, I'm always amazed. I mean, I try to do whatever it is, Duolingo, and I can't learn Spanish.
I was on there too.
I took Spanish 1 in like 7th grade. I still can't figure it out. But yeah, you guys were able to learn English on the fly. Then you're in foreign countries.
Yeah.
What was the process like stepping out of your native language, whether it's in the US learning English or overseas? What's that whole sort of learning experience been for both of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our first language is French, obviously. We went to a full French school growing up, so we only had 1 English class a semester. But with hockey, we kind of learned it with hockey, and our dad speaks English. He's English, so
dad speaks.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of 3 versus 1 at home. My mom, my brother, and I versus my dad, kind of thing. But he understands it as well. But it's pretty funny growing up. I remember going offside all the time. My coach would speak English, and I would have no clue. But it was good. It's we learned it pretty quick with hockey and our dad. And I played in the OHL in Plymouth in the States at 16 years old, so I kind of had to understand it quickly. And for Sam as well. We left our house at 16 years old, so it's young, and we had to learn it pretty early. So
I'm really grateful my mom decided to put us in French school, and because it's some parents they know okay, English the main language, like we'll worry about later. But I'm like, she knew that when we were going to play hockey or sports, it was always going to be English, right? So, and my dad speaks English, so but it was very important for my mom. She stayed home with us, watched us, and we didn't learn French English till
Yeah.
I don't even know how old we were, like 5, 6 years old. So yeah, it was just great to, feel thankful to have 2 languages right now in my pocket to pull out anytime. And it's really good in the room sometimes. I know some guys get sick of it, 'cause we do have a lot of French guys in the room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, did you find a lot of, I don't know, like especially overseas, was there's a lot of guys. I feel like that's such a melting pot of languages.
Yeah. Overseas was really tough, to be honest, Steve, because, in Czech, like I said, at different countries, I know we have a lot of buddies playing Germany, Finland, and Russia. And then they have a lot more imports. In Czech, I was, the 2 years I played, I didn't have any North American really imports. So I was, basically alone there. And then in the second league, I was in a small town. I don't think anybody spoke English in the whole town. I'm not kidding you. So it was, really tough to, I had to, you got to mature quick, and you got to, know your ways around and kind of be street smart in that sense. And, I felt like that's what, helped me be like a people's person. And,
yeah,
I really appreciate that. I'm grateful for that opportunity to see another, visit another country and live in their culture. And I thought it's a really unique situation, because most people, they go to Europe at the end of their career, right, guys? Like I did it, vice versa. I went when I was 19. Most guys do it at the end to go, experience that and, have a nice lifestyle. But so there was not too many imports that were coming in at 20, 21 years old. So I had to figure out a lot of stuff on my own.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, last question from me. We talked to Kevin Johnson, and he's the in-game host. He's the guy who stops you when to do the third star. He's the guy who interviews you on the ice at the end of the game. And he said that we never used to do that, but part of the reason why the team decided to do that is because this is a developmental league. And when you get to the NHL, guess what? You have to do interviews. You have to learn how to talk to fans. You have to learn how to talk to the media. You have to learn how to do all these things.
Yeah.
And I find both of you to have, I mean, you guys on the mic, I just think are fantastic. I think you just have personalities that
appreciate it.
Yeah. That sort of elude when you're on the microphone.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys, again, those of us who love to talk, we know we love to talk, radio guy, but how important is that to your development and your understanding of how the NHL lifestyle works and how the NHL life works? And, when you become a captain or you're, the main person that's being spoken to or being interviewed, and knowing how to handle yourself in that environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question.
Appreciate the compliment, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I could listen to you guys all day. I want to do this for another hour. I know you guys got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Let's go have a beer sometime, for real.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think Sam and I have to give a big credit to my mom, raising us with good manners and, spoken really high of people. And, Sam and I growing up in Ottawa, we were captains of our hockey teams our whole lives growing up. And, we have that leadership that we enjoy talking to people or meeting new people. I know an example, before our games, it's always packed outside before we come in, and Sam and I give them the time to, sign all their jerseys, their hockey cards, or just meeting them, it puts a big smile on their face. And, they're supporting us every night and means a lot to us. And, just to put a name to the face, and see how they're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, like I
was just gonna say, it's amazing. Every time I see a fan post a picture on social media pregame, it's you guys are in there.
Yeah,
like you're in every single one, and I'm like, these guys know how to work the crowd, work the fans.
Yeah.
Like that's such a skill that not a lot of players have.
To be honest with you, like we wouldn't. For me, the way I look at it, it's like I wouldn't be able. It wouldn't be as much fun it wouldn't be fun at all without the fans, right? Like I think that's what makes our game so beautiful. Like the passion, the hockey fans, give back to us is unbelievable. And like for me, every time I, put my skates on, honestly, I'm telling you, like every time I'm thinking, I want the fans to leave with a show, like I feel like I want to give back to them because, they're paying good money to watch us play, and they're out there, like they work full jobs to come, and then at night they come see us with their kids, and, I give back to them, like for me, I love playing hockey. It's what we do. And, I want to be a warrior out there for them, like that's my mentality. And yeah.
It's awesome to hear you guys say that. And I have to say, I mean, you guys hit a home run. I'm here right now because, I want to create memories for my kids. And, the Thunderbirds growing up living here in Western Mass is my way of doing that. I can't tell you how many times I hear my kids down in our basement playing, knee hockey, and it's "Goal, Will Bitten," and it's I'm not even kidding you. And lately it's been like they've been wrestling, and they're at that age now, so it's like, "Oh, Sam Bitten coming in for the fight," and they're throwing the gloves down. And but awesome. I mean, you guys, you hit a home run, and hearing you say that, Steve and I talk about this, it makes me, I'm honored to be a part of this. I'm honored to have this conversation with you guys. You're both a joy to watch on the ice and watch you guys do what you do. And I'm not just saying that, I truly mean it. And, you got
a lot to be proud of, fellas.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys, be able to give us that, be able to showcase, giving us your time tonight to speak and, hear our side of the story sometimes. And, it's a lot of fans want to know a lot, right? Like they don't have a lot of, they want to know the players, like it's hard sometimes before the games and you're rushing and you're signing and you have a lot on your mind before a game. But, I was just really happy, honestly, to have that game for them, because every day I would walk there, I was taking warm-ups, say, or not playing. They would always ask me, are you playing? Are you playing? And I was like, my time will come, don't worry. And I was always so positive, but I could see they were getting frustrated. And I'm like, stick with it, guys, stick with it.
Do you have
sorry, I was just going to say real quick, I'm no Drew Bannister, but I think that you've played yourself into this lineup, and I don't know, again, I don't know how he's going to handle it, but as far as I'm concerned, Sam, you've played yourself into the lineup at least for a couple more games at bare minimum. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was going to say is, Will, you touched on it earlier. There is a lot of talent on the team. We've talked about this on other shows. Will, you were on the second line there at one point with, I called it the double Mick Bitten line before you got hurt. And, you're up and down the line. And I mean, you look at the fourth line sometimes and you're like, this could be a line too on another team.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of talent on this team. Absolutely. Do you have any feeling, Sam, like, are you going to be in a more rotation with any of the lines?
Yeah, I'm not sure, I would love to share, but I can't touch on that. I don't know, what their plan is, but, one thing is, what I like about myself, and I worked hard on this, is my mentality. Like every day I try to be the energy in the room, be vocal and be there for my teammates, so that's all I control right now is, be there for my teammates. And when I'm in, like you saw, I'm never going to shy away from anything. That's the player I am, and I'll always have my teammates back. And I love the look of that fourth line. To answer your question, last game, I thought having my brother, a 6-year player, a guy that played in the NHL a couple of games, and being a more of a skill player known, and he was actually getting in there and firing me up and getting in the scrums. I was like, oh my God, like that's when you think your team could be a real problem, right? Moving forward. And you can see those teams that win in the playoffs, they're deep teams. You got to have 4 lines that can produce and score and be effective. And I thought we did a really good job. I thought it was a good mix with Abramov too. I thought, you see Abramov had a 3-point night, my brother 4, and I had my first point. I was pretty effective for a fourth line. You don't see that too often, right? As a fourth line.
Yeah, we got to get you out there against Hartford. I mean, and going back to what you said about the power play, they're all freaking 6'8", 6'4", 6'6", 6'5".
They're big.
And the power play, it's like, where do everyone's going yelling shoot, and it's like, where? Like every guy on the ice is 6'6", and they got 8-foot sticks. Like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and to answer Matt's question as well is, last year I thought, we missed that kind of Sam Bitten player. I felt like we got bullied a couple of games that we lost last year, especially in the playoffs. We were missing that kind of style of player. And, this year I thought, telling Kevin, talking to him over the summer and stuff, saying, I had a guy for him in the backyard, and glad everything worked out, Sam playing 2 exhibition games in the NHL and doing his thing. And, it's been a wild couple of months, but I mean, our line played great the other night. It's like I told you, the chemistry is there, but our team's so deep. We have so many good players. Every line's good. Last year we had Heisey and Furkey, and we had, I think, me, Nicky, and Neighbors, or me, Ginger, and Neighbors. We were a good line as well. But I think we're really deep this year, having 2 organizations together, and we're still trying to figure things out. But it's been great so far. We have a really solid team, and our goaltending is great too. We got 2 really good goalies, and it's going to be interesting. So it's going to be fun. Really looking forward to it.
I could go all night. I don't know. Are you guys tired of us yet?
No.
We're good. We're good.
We're good. We're good.
So what's it like trying to incorporate players from another organization? Like this whole thing with Charlotte and with the Carolina and Chicago is just bizarre. But do you feel that it's a benefit to you? Like you're getting more talent, but whether it's Suzuki or Coughlin or Reese, or is it just weird? Like, what's that whole dynamic like?
It's definitely unique, right?
Yeah, that's a great word. Yeah. I would say unique. Yeah, it helps our team definitely. It's great. They're all really good players, and it benefits the team. But also, you see guys maybe dropping down the lineup, or maybe not playing from the organization the team's with, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And we're still trying to fit guys in, and there's guys that maybe aren't playing but can play on any other team in the AHL, which it's weird, you're losing that opportunity. But it definitely helps our team, and we've been pretty fortunate right now with we have no injuries. So if there's injuries, then it's like, oh, we have all these guys, right? So we got
between Tommy Cross and Nathan Todd last year. I mean, those were big ones,
Yeah, and then you can also say Witkowski as well. These guys were all out they were long-term injuries. They weren't 1 or 2 weeks, right? Exactly. So we've been fortunate with that, especially with St. Louis. They haven't got any injuries as well. So the boys are all healthy right now, and it's kind of that. Exactly. It's kind of that, like, one day at a time mindset, that mentality of everyone showing up and putting their work boots on, and when you get that chance, make the most out of it.
Personally, I think it's great. For selfishly, I love the practices. Like if our practices are way more competitive, like it's definitely the compete's high, and everyone's pushing for fighting for jobs, right? Like we're all we're brothers in that locker room, but we know, like, we're competing with one another. And I think that's what makes great teams, is that when we're practicing hard and we're battling with each other, it makes, the games, feel easier, because, you're putting through your body through a lot of work during the week. So I think it's really going to help our team benefit down the stretch for sure.
Yeah. Is it helpful? This is kind of like my last question. You guys are awesome to talk to.
I know.
We'll need a part
helpful? 2. Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, we could just meet at White Lion and,
let's do it, man.
Game one night. I'm fine with that.
You name it.
Being part of the St. Louis organization, an organization that is not scared to call guys up. I know last year there were a lot of injuries, but, Will, you had your call up. You had Hugh McGing had a call up. Nikita's up and down. Jake's up and down. Tucker's up and down. You had call ups for Dmitry Samorukov, Steve Santini, Kessel had a call up, I think, last year. Like St. Louis is not afraid to call guys up and use Springfield. How much is that always in the back of your mind? I know obviously, and we all root for all you guys. We want you to reach your dreams. We want you up in the NHL. Is it helpful? Does it add more fuel to the fire, knowing that at any moment this is an organization that will call you up and give you guys the opportunity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I have nothing but respect for the St. Louis Blues organization. Especially they were the team that gave me that shot, that first NHL game. You know, that means a lot to me. I take that with pride, and you know, they saw that hard work that I've done, and you know, I also had a really good year last year, which helped. But like you said, you know, it keeps the guys motivated too in the dressing room, right? They're not scared to call guys up, like you said, Matt. I know some organizations are, you know, like you saw this year, they might, you know, there's a forward injured, they might go 11 forwards, 70, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, I wish I got that call, you know.
You need a guy? I'm here. Hello.
Yeah, we're down here, you know. It's kind of like that, you know. They make you feel like, you know, we're here, you know, if we're needed. It's kind of a drag. We're kind of far from St. Louis, which, you know, maybe if we're a little closer, they'd call up guys maybe more often. Who knows? But yeah, it's been like you said, Matt. I think they're not scared calling guys up, and you know, when you're up there, you got to make the most out of it for sure.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Sam, Will, this has been awesome. Don't be a stranger. You're welcome on the podcast anytime. This has been absolutely fantastic. We wish nothing but the best for both of you guys. I hope we see more of both of you guys in the lineup. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And let's make that happen. But we really appreciate you taking the time. This has been fantastic. And like we said, we could do this all night, but
yeah. This guy can talk hockey all night for sure.
Yeah. I love talking hockey, boys. Love it.
We'll move it to White Lion sometime. I think that's the move
for sure. But thanks again, guys, for having us and let us share our stories and you know, giving us the chance and you know, the eyes. So thank you very much. We appreciate it, guys.
Awesome.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
There goes Will and Sam Bitten.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks, guys.